GRIDLIFE Touring Cup this weekend has experienced every kind of condition at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Dry, wet, and somewhere in the middle. But this afternoon for race number 4 of GLTC, it's going to be wet again, as it was this morning for the third race of the weekend. For GLTC Race 4, we've inverted the top 8 drivers and gridded up the rest of everybody by their finishing order from race number 3. That's going to put Justin Kelly on pole right alongside Brad Adams, Nick. And let me tell you, every time we invert these races, they're wild enough in the dry. It's going to be crazier in the wet, and it's just as wet as it was, maybe even wetter than it was for race 3.
Yeah, it's going to be a great one. On row 2, we've got teammates Robert Manicheri and Emil Tab in those 2 winning Formula K Miatas.
And row number 3 going to be Aaron Lichty and Ryan Kristoff. And I think Aaron Lichty might be the one to watch here. Only in the 3rd row. He struggled a little bit at the start of race 3, but I think he's got that sorted out, and he's going to be charged into the field.
The row number 4, we've got Woody Hyman. I think he's really going to be a force to watch. He really made his way through the field, and I think only with a little bit more time, he might have been able to catch the car of Kutil and really get around him.
Kutil, again, the points leader coming into this final race of the weekend, and he won the middle 2 races. If he could get a 3rd win from 8th place, that would be impressive. He's been good in the rain, was able to hold off Woody Hyman, but now he's got to get by him and 6 other people if he wants to grab the lead away. So the field heading through turn 6 and 7 right now. Turn 6 has a massive puddle on the inside right up against the curb. So we saw a full course yellow mid-race in race 3 that shortened our race by about 8 or 9 minutes. So we're hopefully going to get the full distance in this time, and that's going to shake things up quite a bit with the invert that puts Justin Kelly from the Myriad Motorsports crew right out front alongside Brad Adams, who had a really solid run at the start of race 3 but ended up dropping through the field towards the end.
Yeah, Brad did have a really solid run. I didn't get the chance to talk to him between the races, but it was really unfortunate where he finished. But it worked out well for him for this race number 4. He gets to start right next to the pole. And
Lexington, Ohio is a population of about 5,000 people in Richland County, Ohio. Founded back in 1812, but the racetrack wasn't here until 1962. It's an FAA Grade 2 circuit. First race won by Ken Miles, which again, if you've watched Ford versus Ferrari, you know what we're talking about there. As the field comes through turn number 13, they're going to double file up. We go green flag on the back straightaway. So we don't start until we head towards turn 4 to get everybody lined up in a straight line versus the front straight. And we're going to have just about 25 cars for this 4th and final race of the weekend. And really excited to have that Myriad Motorsports S2000 powered FRS on the front row here, Nick. That's got an S2000 heart in an FRS body. It's a cool looking car, and I think this is his first pole, at least this weekend. So it's going to be a good chance for him to try to drive away from everyone behind him.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a struggle to keep some of these other cars behind him. Lichty was very fast in the rain earlier this morning, and so was Manicheri.
The race lap record at Mid-Ohio Sports Course set by Simon Pagenaud in the 2016 IndyCar race, a 103. What was it, 103.87? We're not going to be anywhere near that. We'll be closer to a 308.7 this time around. So the speeds slow down, but the intensity picks up because it's like driving on glass out there, Nick. There is no grip anywhere, and you have to find out where is the least slippery part of the track, and that's what we're about to see here. Yeah,
and it's going to be really tricky going down into turn 4 at China Beach. That is a very slick corner, and it's downhill. So not only are you losing traction because of the water, it's a track that falls away from you.
All right, so on the racetrack we have 20 cars, concluded by Peter Zhang at the back of the grid. As we come down through Keyhole, we'll head towards turn number 4 and the kink. The kink is where we're going to get the green flag, and it's going to be Justin Kelly and Brad Adams on the front row. FRS versus Honda Civic out front. GRIDLIFE Touring Cup race number 4 from Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, wrapping up our 4th round of the 2020 season, waiting for the green flag to drop. And they're nice and tidy, double file. Green flag flies, and already drivers slipping and sliding, going through the gears to try to find grip as we rumble down towards turn 4 for the 4th and final time this weekend. Can we get all out of there without wrapping up cars into the Armco? Brad Adams is down, leading into turn 1. Here's Emil Tab way outside, 3 wide with Aaron Lichty up the middle behind him.
Kelly getting swallowed up with that start. He is all the way back down into the 5th spot now. It looks like Ryan Kristoff going to look up the inside, and I think he might be dropping.
Whoa, Lichty sideways, big slide through 5. He's going to gather it back up. A bit of brake application there by Justin Kelly. Tom O'Gorman still sliding, but Emil Tab, has he got out front? He has. Emil Tab driving away in the winning Formula Miata.
Wow, that's a heck of a lead already. As you see DJ Alessandrini touch that large puddle on the inside of 6.
Justin Kelly has gone backwards, and Tiffany Kelly struggling a little bit right now too, but everybody else just trying to find traction. Clean start though. There's Scott Robertson having a big slide. That Camaro is going to have a real tough time finding any grip as we head through Thunder Valley up to start our first timed lap. Emil Tab driving away. That speed is amazing.
Emil has just checked out of this one. I think it's going to be the race for the second step of the podium.
Well, Rob Manicherry, his teammates in second, Aaron Lichty in third, then Brad Adams to fourth, and right behind him he's got a whole host of cars. Ben Dozeman, big slide through turn number 11, but Tab's got about a 20 car length lead as they exit turn 13, now onto the front straightaway. And Rob Manicherry, he's looking pretty quick though. He might be able to run Emil Tab down. There's Christoph, Eric Kutil's up a few spots, Brad Adams dropping, and Woody Hyman in behind the 21 car.
The big loss in this one was Justin Kelly. Looks like he's all the way back down into 8th from that top spot.
Everyone else, I'm amazed we haven't seen a car go around yet. It's so treacherous out there. So far, so good as we head down towards Keyhole for our second lap of the day. So Tab, going to lead down into the braking zone. Manicherry's got Lichty closing in. So 3 winning Formula cars leading the pack. 1, 2, 3, and 4th place is the Honda Civic of Eric Kutil, our race 2 and 3 winner and the points leader. So he's got a season or a weekend championship to protect here.
Yeah, I think I thought that Tab was going to check out of this one, but I think Manicherry's shown that he's not going to let that happen as they go into it looks like China Beach now.
And the Rooster Tail's flying up. The visibility very poor right now with all the wind blowing rain and the rain coming up from the tires of the cars in front into the braking zones. You see Manicherry close that gap here. And a Tab going to run the rim line around the outside of turn 4 and 5. But Kutil up to 4th place. That's pretty impressive.
That's a heck of a drive already. Not even 2 laps in. Kutil is already up 4 places.
And
big slide by Woody there up over Madness. Managed to just barely hang on to it.
Great car control there again. This is his home track. We mentioned it in race 3, and he had not yet won a race in GLTC in a points race, and this could have been the day, but it just seems like he has not had the luck to start close enough to the front to hang on to it there. Brad Adams also dropped back to about 7th spot after starting on the front row, and it looks like Justin Kelly has fallen right back to where he finished race 3. There's Tom McGorman right in front of Pervez Randilia, who's really struggled in the rain.
That's really a tough place to be, trying to go side by side there with Tomo and Pervez. Really gets a slick, and it's a crest, so your car really does get light. You got to pay attention and be in control of the car there.
I'm really noticing how close those front 3 are getting. Tab, Manicherry, and Lichty all winning Formula teammates, so they kind of know their tendencies as they come through the final corner. Manicherry almost tank slapped to driver's right. Kutil taking a very different line through turn 13, though. Do you think there's more grip in the center, or do you think there's more grip to the outside in that last corner?
I think you're going to see a lot more grip on the outside, but the trouble is you got to cross back over the track to the other way. Coming across the crest onto the front straight. So it's really 6 of one, half dozen of the other. The important thing is getting the power down and getting the run down the front straight.
It's so hard for those drivers to see with those Rooster Tails. And Aaron Lichty, 2 drivers right of Rob Manicherry. I'm curious if Rob is just going to let him go here, if he's going to contest this spot into the braking zone for the Keyhole. Not quite. So Tab, again, with a pretty commanding lead. It has dropped a little bit. It's still 9/10 of a second. But if he can hang out front and grab this win, I believe this would be his first win since Blackhawk Farms last year.
I think we're going to see somebody look to the inside, probably going down into China Beach. I think it's going to be Kutil, probably on Lichty. See how close they are as they come down into China Beach.
Again, Kutil's so good in the rain here. Another home track driver and a lot of experience not only in the rain, but in the rain at Mid-Ohio. We do have a car looped around in the final corner. That looks to be Scott Robertson. No damage. He will continue. So he's just looped it. Our top 4 all on your frame right there. There's Jeremy Boisenoff at the top of the Keyhole. And just a slight off-course excursion. Emil Tab, in his racing career, has 3 wins, all of which came at Blackhawk Farms last year in 2019. So this would be his 4th career victory if he could hang on. But we still have 10 minutes to go. That's a long time.
Looks like Christoph and Hyman have both dropped off that lead battle.
Yeah, again, Hyman, I think in the mixed conditions had a lot of pace, but in the full wet, I'm not sure that the car is totally prepped for the full wet conditions. Up through Thunder Valley now. Emil Tab leads the way. Manicherry, though, still keeping that gap, just slightly shrinking as they head through turn 11.
Yeah, all nose to tail right there.
And Eric Kutil's going to push this fight because the 3 leaders are all teammates. They're probably not going to battle each other to the point where they'll be banging doors. But Kutil's going to push him here, and he's right to the rear tailpipes of Aaron Lichty as they come through the final corner. This will complete our 3rd lap of the race as we come across the line. Tab, Manicherry, Lichty, Kutil, and Ryan Christoph will round out your top 5. And then into turn 1 once again. So now you're going to start questioning yourself here, Nick. How far into braking zone are you willing to go, and how quick are you willing to pick up the throttle? Because it's big risk versus reward. For Kutil, he was leading the points here. If he finishes 4th, he might not end up grabbing this the weekend championship. But Aaron Lichty with a big slide and has a run, or actually just going to tuck in behind Kutil. And Manicherry for the race lead on the outside into the keyhole. He's going to go around the outside of Tab, and Rob Manicherry goes and takes the lead away.
And Kutil up into that third spot now.
Really impressive drive as Kutil is coming in the number 82 Honda Civic, and a big slide by a Tab at the exit of the keyhole, and a drag race down the backstretch. And here comes Eric. And Rob Manicherry in the 325 car has fought braking issues in the past in that car. But he's gotten them sorted out this weekend, and he has been a force to be reckoned with inside the top 5 as they head into the braking zone. Now it's Rob Manicherry and Eric Kutil into the braking zone for turn 4, rim riding around the outside.
2 turns and 4 positions that Tab has dropped.
Yeah, I'm surprised because he had the first couple laps went so well for him, and it was just 1 or 2 slip-ups that cost him all those spots. Rob Manicherry, in his career, also 3 wins to his name. Oh, Rob, he's off. The leader's off the racetrack in turn number 6, and through goes Eric Kutil. So just like that, a chance for a victory disappears from 2 winning Formula cars and puts the winner of the 2 middle races of the weekend back out front.
That's going to be a fantastic win for Eric and really seal his victory of the entire weekend.
Well, if he can hang on, we see how treacherous it is. Manicherry went off, and now can Kutil hang on? Aaron Lichty, I'm not sure that he's got the pace that Kutil has in the wet. He's got about 1.5 seconds, 2 seconds to make up before the end of this thing.
Yeah, I think we're going to start to see maybe some more battles shake up in the middle of the field because I think this sorted out as long as everybody stays the same and doesn't make any mistakes. I think we're going to see Kutil take this one.
Well, Kutil is very calculated in his approach to the wet racing, and I don't think he's going to make a lot of mistakes. It's going to fall on Aaron Lichty's shoulders. Can he run him down? Lichty has not yet won a race this weekend, which is a big deal for him. Rob Manicherry got out of the grass and has recovered into 4th place, but has Ryan Christoph closing in from behind.
Woody Hyman closing the gap to Ryan Christoph as well, not quite as far back as he once was.
And into keyhole, there's some lap traffic coming for the race leaders. Kutil goes on by, and Aaron Lichty is now about 2.7 seconds back. Aaron Lichty, 12 wins. Actually, I think it's more than that, 13 or 14 wins to his name now in his career. He has won at least once in every weekend that he's participated in, except for Gingerman last year. And Road Atlanta as well. So every other race other than those 2 events, he's won a race, and this might be the 3rd that he will not get a victory.
Looks like we have a fantastic battle going on down the front straight for that 9th place spot between Tom O'Gorman and Pervez Rendelia. Pervez going up the inside. He's going to be able to take that spot for 9th place.
Yeah. Looks like he'll grab that spot. That's Brandelia. And again, he's been struggling in the rain. Tomo slipping and sliding everywhere through turn 1, but he's going to relinquish that spot. That will put Pervez up to 9th and Tomo Gorman back to 10th. We do have a car spun around in the final corner as well. That looks to be Tiffany Kelly. So she's going to get back rolling, but she's kind of in a bad spot too, so she won't be able to pull forward. Now she's good. She's good. So she's rolling against Scott Bowling. Will catch up. There's Lichty through lap traffic, but Kutil checking out with his experience in the rain.
That was a bit of a scary moment there in the carousel. Not a great place to be parked.
No, but Eric Kutil, again, coming into the weekend, probably wasn't super thrilled for rain racing, but now having won 2 of the weekend's races and in position to win a 3rd, that would be almost a weekend sweep considering where he finished in race 1.
Yeah, he's got to be loving it right now.
And Lichty would be trying to close in. Emil Tab, though, is disappointed because he had such a good start to this race, and it was just a few mistakes that put him back in the order, and now unable to close the gap up to his teammate or to the race leader. Coming on through, no white flag displayed yet. We're going to have at least 2 laps to go. Across the line, Kutil. And it's going to be a couple seconds back. There's Aaron Lichty. It's going to be about 3 to 4 seconds. Rob Manicherry right in behind lap traffic, got really held up by the 190. I think that's Nick Sherrill.
That's going to be to Ryan Christoph's advantage.
Dusty Michael in that car this time, excuse me. Sorry to cut you off. As we come across the line, more lap traffic for some of the drivers deeper in the field.
Big slides coming down the front straight for that Miata of Scott Robertson.
And there's Woody Hyman peering out of the fog in behind Dusty Michael, who looked like he might have locked up a little bit. And he's rim riding right around the outside of the track, and through goes Woody Hyman. Hyman up to 6th place.
Treacherous just everywhere now.
Looks like Clayton Fitzpatrick has gone to pit lane in his Camaro. Didn't want to be out on track in those conditions. It looks like Justin Kelly he's just sort of maintained 8th, but Pervez Rendelia has found some pace and is going to run him down in the next few laps here. There is Dusty Michael in the 67. This race being driven by Peter Zhang. They're side by side, and that is for position for 16th spot. Oh, big slide on exit for Michael as he tries to get the power to the ground, and they're going to drag race down towards turn number 4.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a good race with Pervez and Justin for that 8th place spot here. Actually, I think this next lap, based on the pace that Pervez had, he was really, really quick in hunting him down.
And he picked up a lot of speed, and there's Lichty continue to work by some lap traffic, but it's all Eric Kutil out front, showing his prowess. He's won a race or two a weekend, but to almost sweep a weekend is so impressive. We have not yet seen anyone win all 4 races. The most we've ever seen is 3, and Eric Kutil's about to tie that record. Up through Thunder Valley, the headlights off Kutil's 92 Civic Si, gleaming on the reflective pavement as we work through turn 11 and then into the carousel. The white flag is in the hands of the starter. This will be our final lap when we come on through.
Kutil with a commanding lead coming through the carousel now onto the front straight. That looks to be about 5 or 6 seconds now.
Yeah, he continues to stretch the gap. That car well balanced, well prepared. White flag for the race leader, Eric Kutil. Came into the weekend with 8 wins. He might walk out with 11. Behind him, a couple seconds back, is be Aaron Lichty, 5.2 back. Then it's Emil Tab, a few seconds back from that. Rob Manicherry still hangs on to 4th place for now. Ryan Christoph in 5th. Woody Hyman in 6th as they exit the final corner. And look at Eric Kutil all by himself. He's earned that trackage, and he's going to use all of it as he comes on through turn number 2, the keyhole.
Quite a large gap built up between 6th and 7th place. Now we basically got a lead field and then the rest of everybody else. Brad Adams, your 7th place car, just coming into the carousel now.
Yeah, it has spread out immensely. Eric Kutil's last lap was a 2:03.1. Lap by Justin Kelly was a 2:15.6. Scott Bowling a 2:18.2. Massive differential in lap time right now as the conditions are so treacherous.
And Eric's running the fast lap of this race, a 2:01.4. A good 2 seconds over anybody else in this field.
Tiffany Kelly is right in front of Eric Kutil. Lap traffic here as they work their way through turn 4 and into madness. Kutil going to sweep around drivers right. Tiffany going to stay tight to the apex and make Kutil go the long way around. That might be the safer way here in the wet, but Kutil is through, and now through turn 6, he continues to lead. Bit of a slide there trying to avoid that water on the corner apex, and continues to just walk away. So impressive.
Great battle now with Pervez Randelia and Justin Kelly. Pervez caught up and was right on Justin's heels coming across the line. They were 6/10 apart, which in the rain is not that much.
Rob Manicherry in the background, you see, working his way through the S's section, up and over the crest where the car is going to get light, and then it'll compress and head towards Thunder Valley. Eric Kutil came into the weekend with 8 victories in his GRIDLIFE Touring Cup career. It was DJ Alessandrini, his Honda buddy, that won his first race on Saturday morning, but it's not going to be DJ for race number 4. Kutil is going to win race 2. He's going to win race 3. And final corner for Eric Kutil. He's also going to win race 4. 3 races in a row, and headlights ablaze will come across the line. Checkered flag, and 11th win for Eric Kutil at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Behind him, Aaron Lichty will not get a win this weekend as he comes across, takes 2nd place. Rob Manicherry and Emil Tab, 4th and 3rd respectively. Ryan Christoph going to grab a top 5 here in the last race of the weekend. Strong run for him, just didn't quite have enough to run up with those guys up at the front. 6th place, Woody Hyman. Treacherous conditions left and right, but he was able to grab a 6th place result in his 802 car. And a great battle here. Look at this. There's Dusty Michael that was middle 3 wide for a moment. And there's Pervez Randelia on side by side with him for just a minute. Brad Adams all by himself through turn number 11.
Yeah, we're talking about the gap between 6th and 7th. That is 6th to finish the race about 10 seconds ago, and Brad still has not come across the line.
Yeah, it's a pretty sizable gap here. Oh, big slide for a car. That's Tom O'Gorman on entry to turn 10. Had the car about 40 degrees out sideways. Now through 11, he's got Randelia right behind him. And watch this yellow 94 because he's going to hang this car out like he's driving drift through this carousel. Here he comes into the final corner. Randelia to the inside, side by side. That's going to be for 9th spot. Race to the checkers. 8th place, Justin Kelly. 9th place will be Pervez Randelia, and Tom O'Gorman is going to come back in 10th. Big slide, tire in the grass, he'll get it done. P10 for the 94.
What a piece of driving by Tomo. That was a nice save coming across start finish.
He lost a spot, but he made it look cool.
He did make it look cool.
And the last couple drivers coming across the line, the 213 of Scott Robertson, who was off in turn 13 earlier, he's going to come across the checkers. So as will the 67 of Peter Zhang. But that will pretty much wrap up the rest of the field here. Boy, oh boy, rain racing's fun.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That was a blast to watch, and I'm sure all the drivers had an absolute blast as well.
And for guys like DJ Alessandrini, I think it's been a struggle for him on these wet tires. Bendo's been coming across the line. Alessandrini's coming on through with Scott Bowling right behind. DJ will finish. If he can get back to the line here, it'll be 12th. It's going to be 12th for 13th to the line. DJ grabs
close.
12th. That was close. 65 thousandths of a second close for 12th spot, but DJ will grab that. I think DJ didn't want the rain.
No, he did not. He was really, really struggling on those street tires in these wet conditions.
It was first in race 1 for him, third in race 2. When race 3 and 4 hit today, with all the rain, the street tires were not going to hold up.
They just don't cut it with this amount of rain. It would be great if it was damp conditions like we had in the practice race yesterday morning, but in these very, very wet conditions, they're just not enough.
Well, the bridge over the front straight says Honda, the power of dreams. Well, this was a dream weekend for Eric Kutil. Brings it on through 3 wins in 4 races for the 92 Civic SI. He's put a lot of work into that car this season to get it prepared. Missed Autobahn Country Club last month. Says he'll be attending Colorado in a couple weeks' time to run the Roval at Pikes Peak International Raceway. So looking for the overall season championship at the end of 2020. But this is a great weekend, and he made up ground that he needed to make up on Aaron Lichty in the season-long points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with the 3 wins this weekend, I mean, that's just it's hard to do that, and he really shows that he's got the talent and the car that he's developed to really be able to stay out front.
Very impressive. And Mid-Ohio is a treacherous track. You see Scott Robertson still sliding around there on the cool-down lap. But rain at Mid-Ohio, we've seen everything. We saw dry, we saw intermediate, and we saw wet. What was your favorite race of the weekend?
I think the race this morning was just a fantastic race. I mean, it was not a dry part of the track, and you couldn't even think about finding a dry spot on the track.
Yeah, I think race 3 probably mine as well. See Tomo still slipping and sliding. Someone's got to give him a medal.
Yeah, he needs to go to the drift guys.
Yeah, I think we need to bring that back and have him just carry on that. And again, I mentioned earlier that the Myriad Motorsports cars have a YouTube channel following their progression, and that. Of course, if I look back at my notes, because I'm having a blank right now, as I sometimes do, that is the Daily Racer YouTube channel, and at Daily Racer Media is their Instagram. If you want to learn more about Justin and Tiffany's excursions today in the wet conditions, you can make sure to follow them on YouTube or their Instagram to check in with all that. So that's going to conclude our 4th race and final race of the weekend for GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. The next GLTC event is going to be at Colorado in a couple weeks' time, but Slip Angle Live will be up at noon, which will be about 10 minutes from now. Then Time Attack Heat number 7 is how we're going to wrap up the day at 1 o'clock Eastern. My name is Kyle Heyer, joined by Nick Sarter. Nick, thanks for being with me this weekend. And Pikes Peak Roval Racing in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup in 2 weeks.
Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back in just a few minutes for Slip Angle Live.